Okay, y'all. So now I wanted to talk to you guys about the true prophecy of peace. Because here, people have used this scripture in order to find a way to make things better in a place that's of filth. And I'm going to break it down for y'all in truth. And I'm going to bridge it to reality because y'all have to hear the truth. Because only truth can bring lightness here in a place full of shadows and darkness. In a place of images and looking like something, but not actually being what it is. Okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys about what the true prophecy of peace is. And before we even go into what the true prophecy of peace is and the eternal Sabbath, I have to define these things for you. And not only in the measure of what is the definition now, but what it was back then. Because remember, we're looking at a very old book trying to understand things in modern times. So looking at archaic definitions can help you understand and bridge that understanding. So the true prophecy of peace, the archaic definition of that is silence, tranquility, quiet, harmony, absence of violence. This is the definition of peace. Okay? In this world, we have had powers that be, host of heavens, people that want to keep this thing going as long as they can, trying to outrun time, telling y'all that bringing peace here is a whole bunch of false things. A whole bunch of trying to make the surface look better without actually healing the root cause. In truth, guys, in real truth, true peace could never be obtained here because this is a corruptible foundation, corruptible and rooted in chaos and violence from the very beginning. The true peace is the world to come. That's the true peace. That's the prophecy. What people don't understand is that they have become so afraid of death. This was spoken about in Hebrews. People have become so afraid of death because they don't know that there is better. The Sabbath, right? We know that as a day of rest. But in truth, you are never at rest here. Never. Because there is always violence, there is always chaos, and there is always things happening outside of your control, around you. You're surrounded by it. And although you may have peace within you, that peace needs to reflect your environment as well. And peace cannot be reflected here because the Prince of Heirs, the Father, the seed of Satan is among us. And you can never have peace dwelling amongst demons and fallen angels. Never, never. The true Sabbath is rest. It's repose. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've gotten so accustomed to this trauma-built life, because that's what it is. It's nothing but, let's get through it. Let's get over it. Let's do this. Let's always trying to find a way. Always trying to find a way in the midst of chaos and violence. Always trying to find a way to make things better and something that is fallible, that is corruptible, that is not the true state, nor the true promise of what God has promised on all of y'all. That is the true prophecy of peace, because the day of the Lord is not, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. Because all of this surface happiness ain't really what it is in the shadows. And the counselors here love to tell you, oh, you just need counseling. You need to just get through it. Instead of trying to get through it, try to obtain real peace. And that peace was obtained because Christ showed it to us that after death, he lived, he rose. That death really did not exist. That's what it meant when he went to go get the keys to Hades. And that's what the day of the Lord is. When he comes, it's the true peace that can be brought here after this life of trauma, of suffering, of sickness, of pain, of sorrow, of only moments of happiness without ever having true eternal happiness. That is the prophecy of peace. There's nothing normal about what's going on here. Let me break this down for y'all. Where y'all think this is normal. You think that you can figure out a way to make things normal here in this barbaric world. Let me explain this to you. There's nothing normal about being in a society where your politicians, your celebrities, and all of these things are exposed for doing wicked things to humanity. There's nothing normal about that. There's nothing normal about royalty subjugating a group of people to the point where they're poor and they're starving. There's nothing normal about that. There's nothing normal about tunnels being underneath where children and all of these people are being exploited for their organs, for sexual gain, for death. There's nothing normal about that. And as much as y'all try to make things on the surface, peace and all of that thing, nah. That's why the day of the Lord is going to be what it is. And why the great kings of this earth are going to mourn. Because this ain't peace. because you hide in the shadows and you only show light to what you want light shown to. The true prophecy of peace is not your human efforts. I'm here to tell all of y'all that. All of y'all. Because there is no divinity here. There is no divinity here. And when divinity shows itself, people point their fingers and call it demonic. Because they're so used to their standards as if there's not a higher one. That's the problem here. Y'all don't care enough. There's nothing normal about sickness. There's nothing normal about aging as much as this has become our standard here. Because unless you know that there is more, you'll never know the true prophecy of peace because you'll still be trying to obtain it here. You'll still be trying to make things better and suffering. When truly peace is absent of all of those things, all of those components, all of those options. Because the truth is, we're all guaranteed death here as humanity. And that's not fiction. That's not made up. It's fact. Now, as I say that, I wanted to read this prayer to y'all to make y'all understand what it really means in this age, in this time, when the day of the Lord is nigh. Okay? So, our Father who art in heaven, meaning above, meaning of the spirit, meaning not of this fleshly form, but in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. Where is his kingdom? Heaven, right? Thy will be done. What he purposed for what to happen on earth. Thy will be done on earth. So everything that he purposed in his will be done on earth. Okay? As it is in heaven. Now, what does that mean? Let me explain this to you. Right now, currently, what people don't know is that the hosts of heaven are numbered just as we are. But these hosts of heaven have been ministering angels in error. They have been leading the sheep astray. They have been leading humanity astray. These hosts of heaven, these people on high. And they are currently in chaos right now. They're trying to they're in chaos and violence. And it's the same as done on earth. Same thing that's happening on earth. Which is why when they talk about the day of the Lord, the hosts of heaven are going to fall down like leaves, dissolve. Because it was a falsehood. It was a whole bunch of people pretending to be gods, having humanity defile themselves in all types of ways with their sacrifices, with their stuff that they do, with their violence, with their sexual acts. They're the ones that have been guiding humanity in complete error here. So it is on earth as it is in heaven right now. This is why the day of the Lord is coming soon. This is why it is called Generation Z, the last generation of the alphabet. And truly in the aspect of the matrix, the host of heavens are a whole bunch of watchmen who watch humanity, who are afraid of humanity ascending above them, who are afraid of humanity going above their elitism and their sick squid games. That is the truth of the host of heaven, which is why they hate Christ so much, the true Christ, Emmanuel. Because when he comes back, all of this is getting broken up. This false peace, this safety and all of this, when they do the things they do in the shadows in order to maintain this falsehood, this facade. But again, people don't want to hear it. Because with Christ, if you look at him in truth, outside of all your interpretations or whatever, he showed you that after death came life. After the curse came ascension. And even when you look at the word in truth, precept upon precept, line upon line, even the perfect human being who was without fall, was without sin, was subject to death. The very being that came here to promote peace upon this earth, within earth, he would come to you and say peace unto you. Yet he was unalived here. What should that tell you? There was no obtaining of peace. That's why it'll say peace and safety, peace and safety. But then the Lord is going to be like, nah, break this all up. Mountains move. That's what it is. The true prophecy of peace is knowing that life comes after death, of what is corruptible, of what is violent, of what is chaos, with what is barbaric. That is the true prophecy of peace. Because even those of peace, they get rid of here, of true peace. When he said peace unto you, he was trying to show you the ways of God. He was trying to show you the ways of what the other world is to come. Why you so clinging on to this? Why you still have pride of life for this? And when anybody tells you about the true resurrection, the true life after death, you get angry at. Because how dare you take our slaves away? This is how these hosts of heaven think about y'all. They want you constantly in chaos, constantly in violence, constantly in their stories, in which they use you guys as armies to go fight their battles, to go fight their beasts, to go fight their wars, with no propensity for true peace. Because peace don't live here, nor could it. Because from the very foundation, it was corrupted. From the very foundation, from the very day you heard your sentence from the curse. But you think that you've gotten out of prison? Christ showed you how to get out of prison. Even outside of the shadows, even outside of that dark world, we could look at the surface and know that something is off in their promises of peace. How can you have peace when you are around suffering? When someone could be starving to death, but a news story can tell you, Jay-Z has just won $2.5 billion. I'm quoting it wrong. I don't know. One of those. And that can be seen as normal. That can be seen as peace here. Chasing your own vain lives and thinking that's normal. Thinking that you got blessings. That's not the prophecy of peace. And it could never be peace. And as much as they concentrate great kings of this earth to control groups of people, the day of the Lord, everybody gonna know. And that's when the true peace will come. Because right now, there is no peace. The true prophecy of peace, the true Sabbath, while y'all looking and chasing the moon and the sun, when y'all don't know the moon is going to be like blood, the sun is going to be blackened, and the errors of your ways, your wicked ways of chasing everything except God are going to be shown to you. Because the true Sabbath is rest, eternal rest. The true peace is eternal silence, eternal way from this chaos, from this violence, from what is not really of peace. There is no peace here. There is no making it better here if you cannot see the truth. In that this is fallible, this is corruptible, this is vain. And this is what Solomon was talking about. But people don't want to talk about that. They want to hear, good job, we're going to make it better here. In a fallible state. That is the world to come. That is the promise. That is the great promise. That there is no sickness. There is no death. There is no crying. There is no sorrow. There is none of that. There is peace. That is true peace. Let me break this down for y'all in reality. Chasing emotions, things that are fleeting from you, is not peace. Chasing happiness is not peace. It is only a moment. And you know that. Because one day you can be happy, then the other day you can be sad. Not even a day, seconds later. It's something that is fleeting, emotional. Whole bunch of impulses, chemical impulses of things that are of the world and not of divinity and of spiritual. But people don't like to hear this thing because they're so attached to the things of this world and their pride of life, which includes your bodies. Let me tell you something. If you're running, do you feel peace? Nah, you're going to get tired. That's all y'all doing here. Chasing, getting dreams, chasing food, chasing money, chasing everything except God. And God represents peace, true peace. You are children of your Father if you don't want peace. The true prophecy of peace, not this. Not making it better in the things that are imposed on you, the sicknesses, the death, the messing ups of all of the things that are happening here. That is what it is, guys. And that is the true prophecy of peace. But again, when you don't hear that, okay, me making this business or this ministry or this false legacy is what's going to make this world better, then you think it's false or you think it's demonic to say that. Let me tell you something. I want true peace, which is why I want the will of my Father. Because I do not like staying in chaos and violence and barbaric ways. Because you have to kill to live. Even the most strict vegan, you have to kill to live. Because a plant was living. You have to kill it to live. So as much as you guys think that you're making a way of divinity, of godliness here, you're not. Because there is no peace in chaos and violence. There is no peace in what is not still and silent. There is no peace. There is no tranquility. And this is the truth of the error of this ways, of the error of the ministering spirits here, the ministering angels here. That's the error, because they've kept you encased in this prison world, this prison matrix. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they become demonic, or they try to sully their character. But you cannot sully what is light, because light always overtakes darkness. But people don't want to hear that. And if you think that you have this peace that you can create here when you are surrounded by violence, by chaos, then how can you ever preach that you love thy brother? Because you're only focused on yourself and obtaining peace for yourself. It doesn't make any sense. To love thy brother is to love thy brother in truth. And for me, loving you guys is telling you the truth of the world to come, which is true peace. I want out of this prison. I want away from these powers that be. I want away from these hosts of heaven. I want away from all of them. Because as they watch us, they don't do that same application to themselves, because they think that they are above us. Well, this is the true prophecy of peace and the eternal Sabbath. You can't build peace in a world of demons, of fallen angels who are using humanity as squid games. People think that they can all of a sudden get land and farm when the air is polluted, when the very things that you think you are planting is polluted, when all things are corruptible. How is there peace? How is there this semblance of peace? You have people that preach, we can eat these things and drink these things to be healthy and all these things. But at the end of the day, y'all are all guaranteed the conclusion of the grave. But unless you hearken unto the light, to the true wisdom, to the true world to come, to the true peace, that is all you will remain, is that grave. Because there's nothing but toils here. Nothing but work and work and work, servitude, slave, blah, 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 for something that you won't even have in the end. Because all of y'all are guaranteed. I mean, seriously, guys, look at this world. You have commercials where they think it's actually a good thing. Hey, this has actual real meat. Real meat should have been the standard. Why is that all of a sudden a marketing response? They tell you that your vote counts. Your vote counts for what? A narcissist or a senile? Joe Biden or Trump? Which one? Which mediocrity do you want today? Where's the peace? It's all silly. And yet people don't even want to see the truth in that. They want to pretend that what they have been doing here is okay. That what they've been doing here in judgment and false condemnation without turning to the will of God is peace. No, it's not. And that's the truth. Peace? Everything they tell you that was normal to you has been shown as a lie. How can you find peace in lies? Ignorance is not bliss. It's only an image of it, but it's not what it is. True bliss is peace. There is nothing normal about someone living a lowly life and making a whole bunch of money and that being a goal. To sacrifice the morality of you in order to gain something of material dead stuff. But people don't want to talk about that here because they're so consumed in this world and not true peace, not the true prophecy.